Competition amongst the best, national pride, athletes, things we've had practically since the start of history. And while these traditions continue and flourish, the world is met with a new setting, change of pace, esports.
You have yourself a North American team into the quarterfinals. Can anyone stop Samsung White?
Electronic sports, bringing the same fierceness and fiery spirit found in sports to video games. The field of play is the computer. The athletes, tried and true veterans of the game. The stakes? Higher than you could imagine. This short video documentary will introduce to you the competitive world of esports and show you how they're not so much taking over, but more so making a solid niche in an ever-changing world. Before getting into this, I should clearly state that I am a strong advocate for the growth of esports and spend most days playing video games myself. There might be a bit of a bias. However, all figures and statistics you will see are legitimate and proven based on the latest data I could find. Also, I'm in no way, shape, or form condemning or trying to end traditional sports. Instead, I am comparing parts of it to the new competition. For the sake of time, and to be concise, I will be focusing on the NFL and League of Legends, despite how many other facets of gaming there are. League of Legends is the world's most popular MOBA, a multiplayer online battle arena. The gist of it is two teams start on either ends, with 3 lanes of turrets and minions to defend and siege, each player commanding their own character to level up, outplay, and eventually defeat the enemy team. What makes this game appealing is the simple objectives, over 100 unique characters to mix and match a team of 5, and the spectator appeal. Riot Games, the sole creator and proprietor, boasts 67 million active accounts per month. Riot also recently concluded their World Championships, which had a peak of 27 million concurrent viewers during the final rounds. Compared to the most popular college football games of the year, and the Super Bowl itself, these numbers speak for themselves. For LCS season splits, where teams employed by Riot Games battle it out over the course of months for ranking and playoff seeds, average viewership is 100 to 300,000. Easily determined with Twitch TV, the crux of esports, a video game streaming platform. But none of this would have been possible without 2 major components, the players and the fans. The next 2 sections will cover these components in detail, but more briefly, League of Legends, and for that matter, all of esports, would be nothing without the community. The players and the fans are one and the same. It's what separates video games from physical sports. Making a professional team is about as likely as winning the lottery. In League of Legends, however, while still very difficult, all it takes is you and 4 other dedicated players working hard and climbing to the top of the ranked ladder. Play well enough, and you will get your chance to compete among the best. At a glance, comparing what the average football player makes to a professional gamer is downright depressing. The NFL stipulates that one of their players is to make a base salary of $420,000 per year, not including yearly bonuses, signing bonuses, and performance bonuses. The top 1% of professional League of Legends players, including Riot salary, sponsorship, prize money, and streaming revenue, might barely pass the 6-figure salary mark. Most pro gamers are kids who took a gamble and decided to go for the professional scene, foregoing college, relying desperately on their team sponsors, who in turn rely on player performance. Job security is extremely rare. Regardless of popularity or viewership, there's simply so much more money being poured into the NFL. Your next thought may be, well, athletes get paid more because they work harder, right? Well, no. Playing games for a living is just as time-consuming, stressful, and skill-intensive as any other sport. A professional player is spending anywhere from 8 to 16 hours a day practicing in solo queue, playing scrims against other teams, or learning strategy. When you live and breathe this game 7 days a week, 10 months of the year, it is no longer a game. It is a job.
One of the more interesting conversations I had recently.
This is Sean Plott, also known as Day 9. Former professional StarCraft player, StarCraft caster and commentator, business owner, esports enthusiast, and the nicest guy that has ever existed. Here he is giving some food for thought before attending DreamHack, one of the largest annual gathering of nerds.
He just offered to give me feedback, and it was kind of interesting to hear some of the feedback, because a lot of me went, I know exactly what you're talking about for this thing, but like, I think that like live media is like, and like live web media is like different. A real important rule of broadcasting is that like no one cares about the broadcaster. if I'm like a radio DJ and I say something like, all right guys, hey, we're gonna go into this song, it's kind of a sad one, which is good because I didn't really have a good day. You know, my refrigerator broke, and my girlfriend, I don't know, her dog doesn't like me very much. You know, I'm like one of those things. It's like, all right, let's listen to the song. Like, nobody cares. But I feel like a lot of the success of like the YouTube stars and the other like live stream folks is that they like do share that sort of personal stuff. It's kind of a funky disconnect. I distinctly remember the day.
This is a trend I've noticed myself and explored. Throughout much of traditional sports, especially given the sheer size of some leagues and teams, players are very often nothing more than data. Height, weight, position, touchdowns, anything you want to know about what they did on the field. Outside of that, nothing. The exception being if they do something illegal or otherwise exciting. No one wants to know what Eli Manning did last Sunday morning. However, there is quite the opposite trend towards video games. The average viewer loves to know everything about their gaming heroes. This grew from the incredibly popular streaming platform, Twitch TV. The most popular gamers can broadcast their live gameplay all across the globe, usually with a webcam, music, and everything to let the average viewer sit back and watch high-level play. But what's key along with this method is the chat function. Streamers get to chat with their viewers in real time, adding a very real dimension of interaction. Your average football fan would be blessed to have a 2-minute chat and handshake with their favorite football player. But esports has the advantage of being small enough so that a full conversation with your favorite players is only a few clicks away. As the scene gets bigger, it wouldn't be surprising if the more personal aspects of gaming started to vanish. Already, most big streamers and teams have to keep their locations a secret, lest some of the crazier fans show up at the doorstep. However, interaction with the fans has been so crucial to the growth of competitive games that surely not all aspects can disappear. This section should be pretty short, as we should already know why fans of a game are so crucial to the game, but I want to touch on what I find to be a very interesting topic. Cosplay, or costume play, is the act of dressing up as a usually fictional character from a TV show, video game, or anime. The trend has been rampant over the last few years, and has raised more than a few eyebrows of our more modest elders. But it makes me want to ask, have you ever looked at a football stadium? Thousands upon thousands of men, women, and children wearing the same uniform jersey as their favorite player. Does that strike you as odd? Well, good, because cosplay is the same thing. If anything, I find it impressive when you can see the hours of work that someone clearly put into their outfit. Again, video games would have gotten nowhere if not for such a close relationship with the community, and the community loves to show their support. It feels great to see your gaming idol do something amazing on your favorite character, just so you can try to replicate it in your own games. So where do we go from here? The NFL is massive, and the profits have never been higher. League of Legends has also been growing exponentially, with almost 3 times the active players from the year prior. The game is extremely appealing, it has awesome, relatable pro players, and the executives know exactly what the community wants. So is this where I break out the conspiracies, how Riot is trying to sabotage primetime football, and the NFL is trying to buy out League of Legends? Well, no. Everyone is more than welcome and encouraged to be a fan of what they want, and there are really no downsides. In fact, ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports, actually aired the League of Legends World Finals. Granted, it was like 3 AM, but it's not their fault, it was in Korea. And then there's also the generation gap. The demographic of League players is largely between the ages of 16 and 30. Most people interested in the league find it on the internet, while football fans are practically born that way. But as the years pass, video game trends will surely be on the rise. We also must take into account how volatile video games are. 3 years ago, I would have surely been doing this esports presentation on StarCraft 2, but now they are a shadow of their past selves, with MOBAs having taken the spotlight. No one would argue that any particular game will outlive football, but you can argue that video game culture might take a stab at it. Hell, maybe in a few years Candy Crush will be taking center stage. That's not the world I want to live in, but in this exciting and interactive, social media-centered world, What the community says goes. Thank you for listening. This has been David Katz, wishing you a wonderful rest of your day.